The Daily Take comes your way right now with Geraldo Rivera. There's even a guy who's a reverend or priest, it appeared, that was taken into custody. So a lot of this going on. There's actually a statement, I'll read it from the Archbishop of Chicago, that says that kind of indiscriminate deportation or at least arresting protocol is something that is not American. We cannot create a police state in our neighborhoods. People cannot be living in fear of coming outdoors, wondering what's going to happen in their streets. You know, the bishops more broadly had some negative things to say about the way the president's going about this and enforcing immigration policy. Put it all together for us. What do you make of it today?
Well, first of all, God bless the Cardinal. I am so appreciative of the work of the Catholic Church, particularly in standing up for these defenseless migrant families who are being absolutely rousted by the various immigration authorities in a way that is very unseemly, Connell. I'm telling you, when you see priests being knocked to the ground, you know, it is so reminiscent of the worst of the anti-war protests, which I was proudly involved back in the 1960s. But it's worse than that, because we could, as mostly middle-class kids, just dust ourselves off when we got roughed up by the cops. But in this case, you know, if the family happens to be, or the protester happens to be someone who is here without proper documentation, they're being not only rousted, but taken downtown, and they have a one-way ticket out of here, and their lives are being disrupted. The reason these people, I'm sure that this isn't Antifa. This is just the people who've got a great conscience, who want their neighbors to be safe, who don't want parents to drop their kids off at school and get nabbed, you know, in the school parking lot or the Home Depot parking lot. You know, I could bring myself to tears just talking about it. You know, I have to tell you that I have not in this business, I have not been so moved to personally get involved with my own ass on the line as I am with this story developing in Chicago, and the coverage that we have been broadcasting.
Harder to remove yourself, harder to kind of look at it. The emotions are getting to you more.
Very much. Yeah. My kids beg me not to. They say you'll be accused of grandstanding or this or that. Or, you know, you don't want to. I'm a police buff. I love cops.
I know.
Some of my best friends are cops. But you have a situation here where the people who are their lives are being totally disrupted. It's like a volcanic eruption in their lives. They go outside to buy a loaf of bread. The reason they've seized, I don't know if you've noticed, but the whistle. The whistle, it's like, you know, yeah. It's the migra is in the neighborhood. Don't go out. Don't expose yourself, because they're going to nab you. The divergence here, law enforcement has the toughest job when they are trying to do something that the people don't want. That's what you're seeing here. You're not seeing, you know, ruffians and Antifa radicals. You're seeing Ma and Pa from down the street. Maybe they have a liberal bent. Maybe, you know, they go to the No Kings rally, but these aren't disruptors. These aren't anarchists. These are people of good conscience. And remember, my last point, my last point about Chicago, particularly Pope Leo. Those two words, Pope Leo, Chicago born and raised, or certainly Chicago raised, the Pope, the Pontiff, the head of the Catholic Church, is from that town. That's why these bishops are reacting with such, you know, sincerity and passion. This is, I think, the church is really looking pretty good to me in the actions that they're taking.
Okay, fair enough. Now, I wanted to, what I was going to say is I want to make sure we put forward what the administration's saying in their own defense of the policy and the enforcement, and you can respond to that as well. I mean, we had the Border Patrol chief on NewsNation. I played a clip of it last hour, where they even say the Home Depot parking lot and actions, things like that, are targeted enforcement. Targeted enforcement. Here's Tom Homan, the border czar, speaking earlier at the White House about some of these protests. Here's what Homan said.
They got the right to protest. Have at it. But don't cross the line. I was watching the videos before I came out here. When they put hands on a law enforcement officer, they're getting arrested, going to jail. But you got a lot of the media saying, well, most of the people in ICE detention aren't a criminal. Wrong. I looked at the data this morning. More than half are criminals.
All right, there you go. More than half are criminals, says Holman. Pick it up again, Geraldo.
Says Holman, let me see them. Let me see those statistics. I want an impartial person to have access to each and every person they have apprehended and are sending to deportation. I don't trust, and I hate to say that, I don't trust Tom Holman, who is allegedly guilty of taking $50,000 in a brown paper bag.
Right. I don't denied trust that, of course, but I know the story. He denied it. Yep.
And I hope to God that there's nothing nefarious, right. and apparently there's not, and to the extent that there's not, I apologize to Tom, but I have to say he is out of step with many, many people in that area. Those cops are not welcome. The authorities there are undermining the reputation of Border Patrol. ICE is now scorned by many people in many cities. And they become the stepchildren, ICE that is, of law enforcement. Cops are even embarrassed to be around them.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.